All right. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us all here today. Today's shiur should be Le'ilu Nishmas, our dear friend Menachem ben Yisrael Yaakov, as well as my dear aunt Rivka Bas Gavriel Tzvi, and for Zaidi, Reb Shmuel ben Yosef Dov HaKohen, and B'zchus L'Refuah Shalema B'Karov Meshalem ben Sarachel, Miriam Basara, and Yair Yeshia ben Chaya Atar. Today we have a special dedication to 4 individuals. One of them is Eli Kitei's grandmother, it's Penina Perel Bas Chaim Eliezer, and then today is the yahrzeit to my grandfather, Zaidi Stern's mother, and 2 aunts who passed away in the Holocaust, as Reisel Bas Chaim, Malka Bas Chaim, and Chava Bas Chaim. Okay, today we are on page 8 in the Ora Vigda, for those who are following along. And we're going to continue today talking about the benefits of Bitachon, the peace of mind of Bitachon. Now, we said that amongst the benefits that a person can get from Bitachon is peace of mind in this world, specifically. And this is a very important benefit. It says like this, because if someone does not rely solely on Hashem, then what happens is he relies on something else. And if anyone trusts in something other than Hashem, the Chavos Havavos, he says over here, Hashem removes his supervision from that man. Don't trust in anything but 100% in Hashem, Chavos Havavos says. And what Hashem winds up doing, he leaves him in the power of whoever he trusts or whatever thing he trusts. Now, imagine that a person says, I'm relying on Hashem, but if Hashem won't help me, I'm going to go ask my friend to help me. That's a big, huge mistake, because a person has to know that in this world, there's nothing but Hashem. Emes Zulaz, that Hashem is the true Emes, and that's it. Then, if he does internalize that, then his feeling of serenity is fully justified. Because he won't rely on his friend ever to get anything done. He says, after all, who knows if his friend is going to help him out or not? He says, a man who has the quality of trust in Hashem will gain peace of mind that will transform his life forever and ever. If you have 100%, you work towards gaining full trust in Hashem, your life will be converted forever. You're going to have the best life. And so he says like this, Ora Vigda says, let's say that a person trusts in the forces of nature, or he trusts in the opportunity of chance, and such as maybe the stock market will favor him, or maybe he's going to bet on a horse and he's going to win, or maybe this guy thinks he's so brilliant, he thinks he'll be able to make a fortune for himself. And if he does so, he trusts with all it. If he does so, if he believes in himself or all these other factors, he trusts will always turn out to be a failure. Why? Because if Hashem is not going to be involved in helping the man, then nothing can help him. And he's going to explain how we know that. He says life is too complicated for it to function without direction. He says there's no such thing as meaningful chaos on this world. And everything in life is measured. And he brings an example. Everything is measured like a control tower at an airport. A control tower at an airport is absolutely one of the most precise things that are out there. Why? Because you absolutely need to be so perfect in order to avoid catastrophe over there. In this world, all things that are happening are being guided by Hashem's plan. That he is the control tower. His plan will cause the people who trust in him to have the best in everything. Now, sometimes his plan is for Gashmias, sometimes his plan is for Ruchnias, and sometimes it's a blend for both of them. But there's no question that the one who's going to trust in Hashem is going to be the winner. But if a person decides to fly his own airplane without the control tower, we all know what's going to happen when you don't listen to the control tower. And by the way, small little fact about control towers, in the United States, there's daily 45,000 daily flights a day. To that point, it's such a demanding job that the FAA's rules for a control tower employee is 90 minutes on duty, half hour off duty. 90 minutes on, half hour off. Because it's such a grueling position that you have to have so much focus and it takes so much out of you that you need that half hour break, and that's what the FAA rules are. Now, So understanding that analogy of the control tower, you need to have the control tower. You can't take the flight, so to speak, in your own hands, thinking that's going to go all well and dandy. And if a person does do this, if a person does take other factors into consideration as far as trust other than Hashem, the pasuk talks about this when the Yid and when the Midbar. A person who does not have the benefit of relying on Hashem will be like the one whom we said, Ki shtayim ra'is asa ami, for my people did two evils. Oisi azvu mekar mayim chayim, they forsook me, lachzis lahem boyres nishbarim. The Yidden, they went and they took the two things wrong. They started, they built the golden calf, and then what they did is they put their trust into empty cisterns, is what Rav Av says. What that means is, broken cisterns. Basically, first of all, you made a mistake of not trusting in Hashem 100%. That's an avera for itself. Second of all, you put your trust into something that can't even hold water. Like, why are you putting your trust in this golden calf? Now, he goes on to say, the Or Avigdor over here, that we are all in our infancy of Bitachon. Some more than others, but we are really all in our infancy, trying to internalize and make it part of our every single day, that we're trying to reach that 10th level of Bitachon. And so he says like this, even to say, I trust Hashem, is already an accomplishment. And even though Rav Av's goal over here is not just for you to give lip service, because he says you need to really truly feel it, but in order to start the process, it's good enough, and it's already a start if you say, I trust Hashem. The pasuk says, Ki shtayim ra'is asa ami, the pasuk says, Amal Hashem machsi mutzudasi lahei eftach boy. I will say to Hashem, talk, just giving lip service at this point. He is my refuge, He is my fortress, my Hashem, I will trust Him. Just saying I trust Him. Here, he's speaking about the sincere belief and conviction that Hashem is the only one who helps. But we have to know that we don't arrive to this level of Bitachon so quickly. But it takes a lot of work to get to that level. But start off with just the lip service. I actually looked something up over here, something very interesting. There's a study about affirmative words. And the study about affirmative words says, like a self-affirmation theory. This theory suggests that people are motivated to protect their integrity, which relates to their ability to control outcomes and adapt when their self-concept is threatened. He says over there, the potential benefits of affirmative words, saying, I trust Hashem. Right, here's what we're going with. Do you want to say positive things? Positive mindset and self-esteem affirmations can help individuals cultivate a positive mindset and boost self-esteem. It reduces negative thoughts and stress. It improves outlook and resilience. And it facilitates positive behavior. And he has a whole bunch of more stuff in that study. But studies have shown that positive affirmation, words of affirmation, help us get there. And that's what the Or Avigdor is saying over here. Start off by saying merely, I trust Hashem. You say it over and over, and you live it more and more every single day. So first, we have to say the words. We have to say, Hashem, my trust is in you. That's why we say every single day, but in davening, we say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hashem is the only one. Hashem Echad, He's the only one in this world. There's no one else. No other power out there. And that you're not relying on any governments, any friends, and any family, or any other, even your own self-ability, your degree, and what you went to school for a doctor, or a lawyer, or accountant, whatever it is. You're not relying on this. Hashem, you are the only one. Hashem Echad. And that's the one you trust in. Now, that's an easy way to say that I trust in Hashem, but to feel it, that's the tough part. The tough part is to internalize this true meaning of I really trust you, Hashem, to put your whole heart into it, and that you stop worrying so much. However, if a person keeps on saying, I trust, I want this, I want to be with you, after some time, it's going to happen. It's going to get more ingrained in you. It's going to get better. You're going to get better at it every single day. And he says over there, he says, although right now, we are very far away from the real fulfillment of what you are saying, of the I trust in Hashem. Nevertheless, little by little, you transform yourself by saying words of Bitachon. You say this over and over. Anytime something happens, you affirm those actions, those positive outcomes, just by just saying, I trust in Hashem. And that's why it's so important to have these words always on our lips. Always to talk about that Hashem, I love you, Hashem, you're the only one, Hashem, 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 Echad, all those things. And he says, We say further in the pasuk, "V'idata hayom v'sheveisa Elovavecha ki Hashem hu halakim b'shamayim alav al b'chas einod." You shall know. He says, in heaven above and on earth below, there is no other. Not only on this world, but in both worlds. Everything we see in this world is really only an imagination. It's not real. MS is only Hashem. It's only Hashem's word that we are seeing, because that's what God wanted us to see. As we say, there's nothing but Him, when we say, Efazulasai, nothing but Him, if you keep on saying it long enough, it gradually becomes part of your personality. But it's not easy, he warns. Or Rabbi Avigdor Miller, he warns over here, it's not an easy task that we're asking over here. We're asking you to internalize it, but we're asking you to just say it over and over and over. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of pain, but you'll get there eventually. He says, don't fall off the bandwagon. Don't stop doing that. And to finish off over here, he says, V'amma, it says in Tehillim, V'yoymu as kavodim b'savnas shar oichel esem. When the Yidden in the Midbar made this golden calf, he was so disgusted by it. Hashem was their glory, and they gave him up for an ox. And Rav Avigdor Miller says, now an ox eats grass. It's such a miserable creature that it can't get along without the grass. Otherwise, it's going to die of starvation. So in whom did they trust? That's the big Avera that the Yidden did in the Midbar. And that's what he's saying over here. You need to have full 100% trust in Hashem. You gave up trust in Hashem for this grass-eating ox, is what he said. V'amar HaKasev, it says, Baruch HaGeva sheyiftach b'Hashem. Blessed is the man who trusts in Hashem. If this is you, if you learn to trust in Hashem, you are indeed a fortunate man. Why? Because the Apostle says, V'hayu Hashem miftachai. Hashem will be his trust. So again, Baruch HaGeva sheyiftach b'Hashem. If you trust in Hashem, V'hayu Hashem miftachai. Hashem is going to be your trust. The degree that you learn to trust in Hashem, in that same proportion, Hashem is going to fulfill your trust and reward and carry out the things that you would like for him to do. That's l'toiva, like we learned the other day. That is l'toiva. And it says in Tehillim, Ashrei hageva ashasam Hashem miftachai. Fortunate is the man who has made Hashem his trust. V'loifane el rahavim, and did not turn to idolatry. V'satei chazav, and to those who speak foolish. All other religions, he says, this is the end. All other religions are false because they replace truth with something false in which to trust. Every other religion calls upon man that's useless to pray to the gods. They call upon other things to pray to the gods. And there are always going to be others who don't try to persuade you even. They're not going to try to persuade you that there's another religion. They're not going to try to persuade you that there's another God. But they're going to persuade you and say, put your faith, your trust into your work. Put your faith, your trust into other people who are helping you. Your boss, your abilities to understand the stock market, and you do so well. Your abilities to understand that you have a degree and you're a doctor and you could be the best doctor out there. Put your trust in that. No. Rabbi Avigdor Miller says, no, don't put your trust in those things. Those things are great because it says, Hishtadlis is great. Doing Hishtadlis with the Slahavas, to do it with energetically, is a mitzvah. You're supposed to do that. It's a mitzvah to go out and work. It's a mitzvah to go to watch yourself. It's a mitzvah to do all these things. Those are all hishtadlus. You're supposed to do that. But at the end of the day, you don't put your trust in those things, even one iota. Your trust is 100% only in Hashem. You utilize those things because that's what Hashem wants us to do, is to utilize those things to make it a derech hateva, and that's the way life is. But the trust, no. The trust you have in one and one only. 100% in Hashem. Not in you, not in someone else, not in your abilities, not in your brains, not in chance, not in anything, but 100% Hashem. Thank you, everyone, for joining us all here today, and I love you all.